of sales 101.
Mm-hmm.
Get yourself up.
Get the energy up. Let's
Get
go.
it up.
Motion creates emotions. A stagnant mind is a devil's playground.
Alexa, go to 10. See?
Oh boy.
You think I'm nuts, right?
Yeah, you gotta be nuts.
You gotta
to be rich.
You gotta go.
Yep.
Oh shit. Yeah. Let's go.
Okay, Alexa, pause. Alexa, pause. You know me, Jolene. I will be jacked up. I don't need no drugs for dopamine. I know how to jack myself up.
Oh yeah.
And Jolene is the same way. She's the same way. She's
high energy.
She is nonstop. Has to be high energy. So when you pick that phone up,
you gotta have it.
How you need to be. You need to be in a good spirit. It's not, that whole professional. Hi, I'm calling about your house. How are you? Fuck out of here. Nobody wants to talk to you.
I see your house is for sale. It's beautiful. I love the landscape. Why are you selling?
Yes. Okay. So let's go.
Let's jump into it.
Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay. So you're gonna ring, and I'm gonna be the seller.
So I'm calling you.
Yep.
Hey, listen, I seen your house on 300 Washington Street. It's a beautiful. It looks like you made some renovations. Are those new or they were already done before?
Yeah. I just remodeled everything.
Oh, so pretty much you did it all to sell it now, right? And get the profits. You have any equity in this house?
Nope. See, you went too far.
I know. I jumped right into it.
Right there. It's too much. Because you can't say, do you have any equity in your house? Like that sounds.
I know. I think I'd be like, who are you? What do you want to know?
Why are you asking me? It's such a professional question.
I'm sorry.
It's such a professional question. It is a term that is in your head that is not in a layman's head.
Okay. So how long have you had it on the market? Have you had any success?
No, I just put it up there last week.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, we've been we actually been selling buying some properties in your area. So this one actually stood out to me a little bit differently. I like the landscape. I am an investor. I do have some other people that are looking to buy, but I'm just trying to get a feel.
Right there. Okay. You said I do have some other people looking to buy. You took the power away from yourself and put it as if you sound like a realtor.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't want to sound like a realtor. You always want to be in first person.
Okay, I'm buying it.
You're always buying it.
Okay.
Don't go into none of who else.
Nobody else. I want it. I got the money.
It's always you. You got the money. You got the power. We're always in first position. We are not wholesalers. We're not realtors. And even if you was a wholesaler, I have never wholesaled saying I got other buyers to buy.
That's
me.
The real estate in me.
I'm buying. I'm the one buying. I'm the one holding. Me. Okay. Because as soon as you give that power away, you sound confusing to that person on the other side.
Right. Hey, Tanae, that property on Washington Street, that is beautiful. I'm actually a buyer. I actually bought something not far from you.
No one would say they were a buyer.
All right,
you wouldn't say I'm a buyer. You would just say, you
gotta go with the role play though. You
would just say, no, I gotta catch it as you're saying it. Write it down. I gotta catch it. And Amir, let me see.
Amir, come on, Amir, start opening.
Yeah, okay. What would you say?
We'll just do openings right now. We'll start opening this way. We perfect that.
It's funny. Like I usually get sellers to be at ease when I start off with a little prof. So like, all right, let's try it. All right, here we go. All right, ring.
Hello.
Hey, am I speaking with Tanae?
Yes.
Hey, Tanae. My name is Amir. I represent Clearview Eastern, and we're an acquisition real estate company here in Orlando. I see that you're listing your property for sale. Is that correct?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So in looking at the property, it's beautiful. Love the renovations. It looks like you did some remodeling in the kitchen. I'm curious, why are you looking to move?
Well, I just got a job in California, and I got
Congratulations. Congrats. What are you doing?
I am. I'm moving with my tech company. I work for Disney here, and now I'm moving. Pixar is actually moving everyone to California.
Get out of here. I didn't even know that. Yeah, I love going to Disney, and yeah, I had no idea that they were moving it out there. Well, hey, look, congratulations. I'm happy for you. Is it just you moving out there? Are you moving with your family or
My family.
your family? Okay, beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Well, look, how soon do you need to get out there to California?
Well, actually, we already moved all of our stuff out of the house. That's why it's
Mhm.
empty right now. I just need to get rid of it.
All right. So, how quickly are you looking to get rid of it?
Um, as soon as you want to buy it.
All right, perfect. Well, look, I want to buy it. Just in looking at it, the pictures look great. I was looking at the number. You have it listed for 325. How did you get to that 325?
Because my neighbor down the street sold her house for 350.
Mhm.
So I wanted to, and we have the same model house, and she just sold her house in December for 350. So I figured I'll sell it for 325 so that it could go fast.
Okay. All right. I got it. So just 25 under the neighbor and you're trying to move fast. So look, in this industry, we work with a lot of sellers in your similar position that are looking to get out of the property fast. The slowest way to go about doing that is going the conventional loan route, where you're working with a real estate agent. They have to list it. And then after that, you have to wait for the potential buyer to tour the home, and then they have to get approved. It's a long, laborious process. And so what we do here at Clearview Eastern is we actually represent a network of buyers where we could get this property picked up within a matter of 2 weeks. What we have to do first, I have to do a bit of an analysis on your property just to see if we can land on the same number that would be attractive for our buyers. And then from there, we can get this closed literally as quickly as in 2 to 3 days. Now, what I'll need from you, I just need
Well,
to
how
learn a
much are
little
you
bit
how
more.
much are you gonna pay me? You're gonna pay me 325?
Well, I have to run the numbers first, and I have to ask you a couple questions to learn about the condition of the property. So I can see the pictures, but just curious about the age of the roof. When's the last time you got the HVAC replaced? Tell me a little bit about the plumbing, the electricity. Could you walk me through that a little bit tonight?
Yeah, sounds good. Okay, so let's assume I love that pitch, and in that way, Joanne, that pitch he can say buyers because he said we're an acquisitions company, and the energy of it was professional and still, there's a bunch of institutional buyers out there. But what I want to know, Amir, is how are you gonna? So now, once I give you the
The
difference,
condition.
the condition, and I stay stuck on I want 325. How are you going to
Mhm.
move me from 325?
Yeah. So let's just
And
imagine.
how are you going to move me? So let's say it's
Mhm.
a follow-up call now.
Uh,
Okay.
exactly. You got
Yeah,
it. So it's a
you got
follow-up call. So
everything.
after the
Yeah.
initial
So now
call,
we're
I
a
want you to
follow-up
come.
call. You
Yep.
did your homework. Okay.
Yep.
What's next?
All right. So Tanae,
Yes.
one, how's your day today? How are you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. How you doing?
I'm doing well. I'm doing well.
Actually, let's hold on. Let's talk about that whole process right there because
Mhm.
you told the person I'm gonna hang up now and I'm gonna call you back after I do some homework. So now
Yep.
you go to the table, you do some homework,
Yep.
you call back. How
Yep.
long before you call back?
I like to do it within the same day. Like most of the time, I already have my analysis done, right? It's just more so kind of giving them that feel that I'm taking it back to a team. And it's always good to fall back on a team because I'm not the bad guy. I don't have to be the bad guy. My team is a bad guy, or my partner's the bad guy, right? And so what I do is I come back and I say, all right, look, so I chatted with our analyst team and we ran through the numbers. And I see that you have it listed here at 325. That is when it comes to buyers and who we represent, there's always some type of exit strategy, right? Whether they want to rent it out or whether they're looking to flip it and sell at a higher rate. And so, in looking at your numbers, we didn't land on 325 per se. In order for us to get this sold to our investors cash and to get you out within a matter of 4 days, we're going to need to be at 275. Now,
275.
yes, if we're trying to do a cash deal where our investors are picking up with cash, we would have to do 275. How do you feel about that number?
I don't feel too good about 275.
Mhm.
So now let's
This is the
let's
setup for the
switch it.
owner financing, by the way. This is the setup because when they say that they're not okay with that, they say, okay, look, there is a way where I could where we could get you to sell the property at 325. And I want to walk you through that. I have to learn a little bit more about your mortgage, right? So do you have a mortgage currently open or is the house completely paid off?
I have a mortgage. I bought it 2 years ago.
Mhm.
So we have a
Okay.
mortgage.
Okay. And then how much of that have you guys paid off? Would you say you don't have to give me an exact number right now, but would you say it's roughly 80% or just 95% is brand new? I'm sorry.
95%? No, I
Reverse that.
didn't. But
Reverse
that's
that.
perfect. No,
5%.
you should
Yeah.
keep that. Keep
Yeah.
that. Keep that because does that make somebody laugh?
Exactly, right? Yeah, I'm sorry, my
It's
bad.
so ridiculous. It's so ridiculous. Like,
Pay it off,
did you
right?
pay?
Like, so what I'm hearing from you is that you're almost done. And yeah, exactly, right? So like that's
Like,
funny.
what?
All
Yeah,
right.
that's hilarious. Like,
Yeah.
what? That would make you. That's a
That
perfect.
would
That's
cut,
perfect
I
because
like
that
that.
makes
You're right.
your brain like, what? No. It
No.
makes wakes
Yeah.
you up. Like, no.
Yeah. All right.
So,
Good. I'm glad you said that. I'm just making sure you're paying attention to me today. Just making sure you're paying attention. All right.
yeah.
That's good. So, all right. So would you say you put about 5%, 7% dent into it?
No, I mean, I think it says we paid off like $10,000.
$1,000. Okay, look. So here's my thinking on this, right? Since you still have a mortgage on the property, whenever we're trying to sell a property, but get it at the rate where they're getting it at a fair value, for you, it sounds like it's 325. There's usually two options. We can do a seller financing, right? Or we could do what's known as a subject to. Now, seller financing is if you didn't have a mortgage available on the property, you paid it off, then you could become the bank in a way. But with the subject to, what we would do is one of our buyers would come in and we would essentially, through our company, become the subject on your mortgage, become the subject on the deed. And what that means is we are now responsible for the mortgage. On top of that, what we would also do is we would cover not just the deed on the mortgage, but we would also cover the loan. Your name would still be on the loan, but we would pay you a monthly installment. And so essentially,
yeah, I'm not interested in that. I don't want to do any owner financing or any creator financing.
What makes you feel uncomfortable about that?
I just don't want. I don't want the headache. I don't want to introduce you to my bank.
Okay, got it. So look, here's a good thing about that. You wouldn't have to. With our title companies, they would set it up. We would take care of everything with the bank in terms of making the loan payments. So you literally would not have to log into your bank portal to make the payments. We would do that. Now, what I will say is when you go back to the 325, and this is why this typically works out so well. Tanae, what would you do with 325,000?
I don't care. I don't care. Click.
Okay, where'd I lose you?
I mean, that was so good. Like you and Jolene, like y'all are on it. I don't even know where to start. So I'm just a fly on the wall, like listening to all of y'all.
Yeah.
Y'all are amazing.
I made you nervous with owner financing. I should have introduced it as
no. I love the way you played that.
Yeah,
but Jolene said this is what she's been hearing. She did when they say and when I made some calls, I don't want an owner. I actually gave you some of the responses that I got. I don't want owner financing. Don't bother me. No, I just want cash.
I just want to sell it. I just want to sell it.
I just want cash.
Yeah. They don't even know.
Okay,
They're not
so
getting all the money.
and Amir, you're amazing. So
yeah, sure, very sharp.
Yeah, so you go because every one of us has a different personality. Mm-hmm. You know, we don't have the same personality. I love your style, Amir.
Yeah, so subject to is basically so the seller financing, that's when the mortgage is paid off and essentially the seller becomes the bank. Yes. But a subject to is when they still have a mortgage. And so
yeah, you were fuzzy on that, but because the owner doesn't know any more than you do, it doesn't matter if you fuck up. You were a little fuzzy on that yourself.
Yeah, I was.
So, yeah, you were fuzzy, and I heard you go left and right on it, and then I'm like, just remember the owner doesn't know, so don't feel like, oh, I'm too scared to say something because you win with it anyway.
Yeah, so, it's like we take over the deed, right? But then their name is still on the loan, but then we make the payments. Like we can set it up with title, right? Tonight to where we can make the payments directly to the bank. So that's the part where I got a little.
The way I set up, right? So the way I set up all of these owner finance deals, all of them is we hire a third-party loan processing company. So that third-party loan processing company collects the payments and they report to the credit. Okay. It depends on how the transaction goes down. So to answer your question, the subject to is you're pretty correct. So the subject to, everything is done through a typical closing and title, and the subject to because the reason why it has to go through a closing is because the deed has to transfer.
Exactly.
But so you're going to get an offer. So let's say someone wants to buy. So we're going to go ahead and send them a letter of intent. The next step. Let's say you talked to them and I didn't hang up on you and you said, oh, tell me more. Okay, we want to, so then depending on what they say, and these are the things that they're going to say. If they say, and this is what you want to know from me, Jolene, and this is the answer to your question. If the person says, my mortgage is, like what I said, I only paid $10,000 down on the mortgage. What does that tell you? So you see how you answer the question? You ask the question, Jolene, you don't tell them. See, Amir asked the question about the mortgage. He didn't tell me about do you have any equity? That's two different conversations. Like, you don't say, do you have any equity? It's like, I know you don't have any equity because I just told you that because the owner said, I only paid, I bought it 2 years ago. That's number one. That was clue number one. I bought it 2 years ago. Do you have a mortgage? Yes, I have a mortgage. When did you buy the house? Oh, I bought the house 2 years ago. Now you can know that answer by looking at that lead when you have that lead. So if you're on Zillow, you can see that it closed 2 years ago before you even make the call. You already know they closed 2 years ago for $350,000. And then when you call them and you talk to them and they say, oh, yeah, I have a mortgage, because you don't know on Zillow if they have a mortgage or not. But now once because they could have paid all cash for $350,000. Now you ask the question, hey, do you have so you have you bought it 2 years ago. I forget how you asked it, Amir. How'd you ask that to get to the mortgage question?
Yeah,
because that was a follow-up.
It was a follow-up.
Because it was a follow-up call. You already perfectly got through the rebuttal of cash because you lowballed them. Look, I want 325. I can't give you 325 because we're an acquisition company. Now, as the owner, I could have told you, well, that's fine. I don't accept that offer. And then you could have said, and then you could have tried the owner financing. I could have knocked the ball back and said, I don't want to do that either. And then if you knock the ball back and say, I don't want to do that, then what I would do is I'd say, okay, thank you. Listen, is it okay with you if I follow up with you in about a week?
Yeah.
Go ahead.
So just to be clear, when we're calling these sellers, I guess obviously we have different creative financing deals that we could do, not just assumable mortgages. Yeah, subject to seller financing and assumable mortgage. Are there any other ones that we're looking at? Are those pretty much the top three? And if we can't do any of those, then we're out.
Nope. Then you also have lease option to buy. Based on what that person told me, if that person said that they had a mortgage and the mortgage was, and they had a mortgage, then I would know. Now I would ask them if they had what kind of mortgage they had in that line of questioning. Now, then based on if they said they had a conventional mortgage, that's what would lead me to subject to. If they told me they had an FHA, VA, or USDA mortgage, that's what would lead me to assumable. And if they told me that they had, and then there's one more, owner financing.
Right.
And the owner financing means that they become the bank altogether for the whole mortgage. And we ran into a couple of those as well. So let's say that person said, oh no, I own the property free and clear. I don't have a mortgage.
Owner financing.
Now that's owner financing.
Yeah.
Owner financing. So it depends on how they answer the question, and then you'll know where to go in the conversation.
Okay. And then when it comes to the price, I know we said when it comes to these assumable mortgages that we're doing, we're not really negotiating price with them. Is that for all?
When it comes to creative financing, I never negotiate purchase price.
Yeah, it's negotiating terms at that point.
I'm only negotiating terms. And you know what? If you say you want $500,000, but the property is only worth $350,000, I'll say, okay, guess what? I'll say, okay, so how about I give you $500,000 in 5 years? And then maybe I'll do a lease with option to buy. Because the one thing that I learned from Grant Cardone, which is amazing, is always agree. You know that old adage where they say the customer's always right? You literally always agree. Even if someone is wrong, agree with them anyway. Just say, I agree. That makes sense. I agree. Oh, I don't like owner financing because people got stung with that. You know what? I agree. I know what you mean. That sounds like a scam.
That's the feel felt found. I know what you feel. Many of you felt the same way, but yeah.
Classic Zig Ziglar. How you know about Zig Ziglar? That's some Zig Ziglar. You're going way back.
I've been in sales for 10 years.
Yeah, but you're going to be way before your time on that.
Well, Zig Ziglar. That's true. The feel felt found. That's why you always agree. Ring. Oh, great. Hi, how you doing? My name is Jolene. I actually just came across your property. I've been looking at a couple, but there's someone that actually picked up. It's a beautiful property. It looks like you just did some renovations on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's an older property.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 1955, huh?
Yep, you got it.
Yeah, so how's the roof and the plumbing and everything? I mean, I see the outside decor is nice, but how's the real important things?
Wait, who are you again?
My name is Jolene. I'm actually calling. Looking at some properties, trying to put myself in something. I'm actually from New York, so I'm going to be relocating.
Got you. So you're interested in getting the property?
Yes, yes.
Okay, got you. Yeah, so the roof is about 7 years old. And then you asked what else?
The plumbing, electrical, is everything up to
Gotcha.
par, or when you gutted it out, everything got renovated?
Gotcha. Yeah. So we recently got HVAC replaced in 2021. It's a new AC. We did some work on the roof about 7 years ago, and then with the plumbing, everything's working fine. No problems with the electric. Um,
Good.
yeah, overall condition of the property is good.
Yeah, the reason why I like it too, it's very close in Orlando to Disney.
Yeah.
Yeah, so something like this, I think an Airbnb for my, or for me to, maybe rent out rooms because I'm alone. So it's definitely something that I can open up options to.
Okay. Yeah. Absolutely. It's a great spot.
All
Yeah.
right, well, yeah. So basically, I'm inquiring, about the property to kind of see to get a feel for, why you're selling, why did you decide to do it by owning that real estate?
Yeah. Just I needed a change of scenery, so I'm actually moving to Atlanta.
Oh, beautiful. Did you actually buy something over there, or?
Actually, just going up there, and I'm staying in a townhome
Oh, okay. So yeah,
right outside
you
the
can
city.
definitely use the money then, right?
Yeah,
In the
that's
house
that's
sale.
why I'm looking to sell.
Okay, I
So
completely understand.
yeah, so I've got it listed for 350. So
Is that how'd you get to that price? Is that because you did the renovations or because that's the house
yeah,
that
because
you
we did the Reno a few years ago, and just looking at other houses in the area, that were 4 bedroom, 3 bath, they were selling for 375, 380. So I figured with the renovations and with me looking to get up to Atlanta, selling it at 350, this should fly off the market.
live? Yes, definitely. And you've been living here long? How long you born in Orlando?
Okay. So, I get a lot of people calling me, saying that they're buyers and interested. So, I've had some people come over and they're not legit. So, I want to make sure I'm doing this right. So, do you have some type of credentials or something that I can know that you have the money to actually buy it if you're interested?
Mm. Well, I'm working on that. I'm putting everything together so I can see
All right.
what
So
I can
once you get
do.
that, just give me a call back and
Yes.
we can talk about a tour. But hey, I gotta go. It was
Thank you
great
so much
talking
for
with
your
you,
time.
Joanne. All right, take care. The key in the mindset is you've got to realize that the seller needs you. You don't need the seller. They're the one listing the property. They're the one looking to get out the house. You could
Yeah.
be their olive branch. So you're interviewing them. It's not a sales call. It's an interview. Real estate is not like you're doing some complex sale and you're trying to convince them to buy a product, trying to convince them that you're the one to buy their
To
product.
buy it. Yeah, they're already selling.
They're the seller. Literally, they're the seller. We're the
Yeah, we're
buyer.
the
We're in control.
buyers.
We have power because if they don't find one of us, they're screwed.
Exactly. You called me back, and
Mhm.
now I tell you. So now you're asking me mortgage questions. Go ahead.
Yep. Yeah. Okay. So, you said that you've put 10,000 down on the mortgage so far.
Oh no, I forgot to tell you. My mom got some money. She got some money from a lawsuit. And
Mhm.
I only put 10,000 down 2 years ago, but we just paid down 100,000 on it.
Hey, all
So
right.
yeah, so I owe 250,
Okay.
and it's an FHA mortgage. I owe 250
Hmm.
on that mortgage, but there's 100,000 I got in that in cash that I put in there myself.
Come on now. Hey, I don't know if you're religious, but God is good. That's a blessing.
Yeah.
So glad to hear that. All right, so that's great. So you definitely have what we like to call in the industry equity, right? Like you've definitely got some good equity in the house. You're close to 33% equity, which is awesome. And so with that being said, what's the interest rate? Are you at 2 points, 3 points? How much are you paying in interest?
We got it 2 years ago, so my interest rate is 2.8 because my
Okay.
husband has very, very good credit, and we worked hard to make sure we could get this rate. We got the best rate that they had. It was 2.8%.
That is good. Yeah, that's great. And you guys got it at a really good time because it's super jacked up right now at 6% or so. So that's an advantage, actually, that you guys are at 2.8, given the current conditions of the market. So this is what we could do. So you said that you're moving out to Cali, right? You're moving in and doing that gig with Pixar, which is amazing. Um, I want to help. And the way that we typically structure this is, a lot of times when we're working with sellers, we ask them, what are you going to do with the money? If you had $350,000, what would you do with $350,000?
Well, I mean, we need to sell this house in
Mhm.
order, because the money from this, that 100,000, we need, I guess we want to use it for the down payment for a new house. Because right now we're just in a hotel, but we got to find another house, and we
Mhm.
wanted to use that 100,000 for the next house.
Okay, so typically down payments are around 20% or so. So you guys are looking to get a house for about 500 grand out there in
Oh God,
California.
no! In the Bay Area, everything's 800 and up. So we need
Oh,
every
wow.
penny.
Yes, you do. Okay,
Fine.
look. So this is where this is great, right? So what we could do with what we like to call you guys having a mortgage on it still, it's known as a sub two, right? Where we would come in, us and our network of buyers, we would come in and we would essentially take over the mortgage and we would pay off the mortgage,
So
right?
actually, so hold on. It's not a subject to, so you're right there. So this is why we're all on this, all
Okay.
learning.
All
I
right.
said it's an FHA mortgage.
So
It's
is that
assumable.
assumable? That's
That's
assumable?
an assumable.
I'm unfamiliar with assumable.
No, I know. That's why we're
Yeah.
on the phone.
So what
That's
is
why I'm throwing these wrenches at you. Okay.
okay?
So
Okay.
that's what. So it's an FHA mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
She's got 100,000. Okay. So you're not sure where to go on it. Where to go on it, right?
Yeah. So if it's assumable, how does that workflow go? Like, how do we?
Okay. So it's
Set them up.
assumable. So I would say, I would go back to the fact that, remember, she only has 100,000 and she's selling it on her own.
Yeah.
So I would have gone back. Oh, I see. You need all the cash on your property because you're selling it. So that's why it's for sale by owner. So you can save that 6% fee, right?
Oh, got it. So you're talking about
So
leaving.
now I'm going to break down how much money they think they're saving.
Yeah. Okay.
Now, so you're saving the 6%.
Mhm.
In costs. So when you sell your house, it's that house that was 350 times 6%. So this is because they're doing it by owner. You got to remember, every time these people are on by owner, they are thinking that they can save money on the real estate fee.
Safety. Yep.
Right.
That's
Okay.
20. That's $21,000. Okay.
Mhm. Yep.
Then you have because of today's market. It's really a buyer's market. So now if someone comes and buys their house, the person's going to ask them, a FHA person is going to ask them from 3 to 6% in closing costs.
Yes.
Okay. Because if someone comes in with a brand new mortgage, they're going to ask for the closing costs to be paid. And so I might ask, if I was to buy this property, all cash, if I was to buy this property from you right now, how much do you think you'd walk away from the closing table with?
Mm.
How much do you feel like you'd walk away from the closing table with? We might get 40 or 50,000. That's fair. That's fair. Is it possible that we could work together where I could actually help you still have the amount of money you have in your house now, even 5 years from now, but I make payments and actually get you out of the mortgage so you can move on. But I can set it up so that we can keep making payments to you for that 100,000 that you have. So what that's going to do is actually allow you to keep the money that you have, make payment, and we'll keep making payments to you and pay you off in 5 years, 10 years, 30 years. Have you ever heard about passive income? Would you like that kind of passive income?
Yeah. Yeah, I would like that. It's like being an investor. So
Yeah.
let me.
So instead of making payments to the bank, I'm gonna make some of the payments. I'm gonna make that $250,000 mortgage you have right now.
Mhm.
I'm going to go ahead and assume that mortgage because you have such a great rate. I could actually take over the mortgage, but the only way I could take over that mortgage is through your current servicing company. They'll take it out of your name and put it into our name. Does that sound like something you might be open to?
Yeah, I'm open to exploring that.
Okay.
So you take over so make sure I'm understanding you right here today. You're saying that you would take over my mortgage with the 250 for the FHA, and then what about the 100 grand that I put into the property?
That's a perfect question. Thank you so much for following the bouncing ball there, Amir.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
what we're going to
Second
do.
mortgage.
You had a question, Ashley?
So I was like, are you going to do like a second mortgage on that $100,000?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So you would open a second mortgage on the 100 grand?
So here's how we're going to do it. Remember, I just said we're going to make payments to you for 5 years, 10 years. If you want, we can talk about making payments to you for the next 30 years. So that $100,000 that you put into your house from the lottery winnings, we're gonna keep that 100. You ever notice how when you pay the bank, you seem to pay the bank like 3 or 4 times on your mortgage?
Yeah.
Well, we can do the same thing for you. Okay, so that 100,000, I have to run the numbers, but let's say I pay you $500 every month, and that $500 every month, I'm gonna set it up so that you're the bank. We'll have the lawyers write up the paperwork and the title company, so you don't have to worry about this. Is not between me and you. You know, this is going to be on paper, and you're going to be the bank. So I don't need to go and apply for another mortgage. And, you know, I still get that 2.8% interest rate that you've got from 2 years ago. And then for your difference, I'm going to pay you the difference of the 100 grand. So now I know you need something to move into that property over there. Would you take, I mean, would you accept, let's see, let me think about it. Would you accept, so your property is 350,000. Would you accept 17,500 just so you have some money in your pocket right now, and then let me make payments on the rest of it?
Let's see, 17.5. That's about 5%, right? I would probably need closer to 10%. Would you be able to work with that?
So you need 10%. Okay, so if so that'll be 35,000. Fair enough. Now, this is what's perfect about these offers that we're making a lot of the owners that we're working with. He can go ahead and give you that $35,000. If you were to sell it outright, you would still, like I said before, you'd be paying out $21,000 for this. You'd be paying another 6% in closing costs, and that's really all you'd end up walking away from the table with.
Right.
You know, so what we're going to do is we're going to make it so that you keep getting paid on that same mortgage for the next 5, 10.
You sold me on that. I just needed some money.
I hear you. So we'll get you that $35,000. We can set this whole thing up to close in about 45 to 60 days.
Okay.
And the reason why it takes long is because whenever we assume someone else's mortgage, it does take a little bit of time with the processing. But it's on one hand it's faster, and on another hand it's a little bit slower because we have to contact the mortgage company. But you know, I can show you proof that we are already qualified for anything up to, you know, $2 million. So we have the money as a company, but you know, we'll move from here. So let me set up some time to see your house. I've got 2 ways that we can look at houses right now. We can look at houses, we can come to your house, but we're a little bit short staffed. Is there any way I could schedule a time so you can walk through your house on Zoom?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, that's perfect. That's perfect. So let's do that. And you know, we can get this closed as soon as possible. I'm going to send you off right now what we call a letter of intent. That letter of intent is, I just need that signed today. It's non-binding, just to go over everything we discussed today, that we agree to it. And that information is what we'll give to the attorney, so the attorney can draw up the purchase contract and we can get everything done. Is that fair enough?
Yeah, that's fair. So just so I'm understanding correctly, you guys take over to 250, and then you'd be willing to give me 35 grand down, and then the difference between, I guess, the 100 grand and the 35 grand, you guys would then make monthly payments to that.
That's
Is that correct?
You got it. Okay. That's about $65,000. So we'll make monthly
over 5 years to 10 years. Okay.
Yeah. And so that's what we'll discuss on our next call. But what time is good for you for us to do this kind of the walkthrough?
Yeah, well, I'm not home right now, but I get home in about 5 hours or so.
I'm aware of the different types of creative financing and ways to get the deal done. I just don't know how to talk through the process. It's almost like identifying the issue. You learn it in law school. I can issue spot, but I don't know quite how to work through the script.
But that's the point, is we need openers. So Ashley, you call and you just open, and then Amir already knows how to close them. We just need you to find out the initial information. Is it conventional? Okay. Is it seller financing? Is it assumable? That initial call that kind of gets that question done. And then Amir would be the one that comes behind and says, and closes it.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Hey, I heard that you
Okay.
spoke with my coworker Ashley. She gave me a quick rundown on the property and where you guys are at, and then I would just take it
Okay.
from there. So that's how the follow-up call would start.
And I think I mean, I can't be the closer yet because I'm also not as, so I will, I mean, that's what I've been doing, when I was with you today, when we were sitting there.
In order for it to go from you to Amir, we need to know they're open to one of those ideas. Once you have enough information where you know that lead is willing to talk a little more, and now that lead needs to be followed up, you go to the website and you fill out the seller form.
I got the script. When you're referring to the script, Tanae, you're talking about the assumable mortgage play, right?
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So as an opener, all we basically doing is just getting that upfront information. What type of mortgage you have, whether you still owe on it, all of that stuff. We're inputting that into the website, and then we don't need to worry about sort of setting the deal up. We just grab information, and then Amir will come over with the close.
Exactly. But in order to even to get close enough to make that conversation, you gotta just be normal. Just have some conversation. Do some chit chat. Have a decent opening. And you're opening. Hey, this is Tanae from Level Up Advisors. How are you? You were using Clearview Eastern Fund, but that's the private equity. We got to stick with Level Up Advisors. Yeah. So
Level Up Advisors. Okay.
this is Tanae from Level Up Advisors. But